The same force may be exerted by Putin's tactical nuclear weapons as by atomic bombs unleashed on Japan. Russian President Vladimir Putin has threatened to use nuclear weapons once more, most likely so-called tactical nuclear weapons now that his soldiers are retreating from Ukraine. He stated in a speech last week that we will unquestionably utilize all weapon systems at our disposal in the case of a threat to the territorial integrity of our nation and to defend Russia and our people. It's not a bluff, either. According to the Federation of American Scientists, Russian military systems contain 4,477 deployed and reserve nuclear warheads, 1,900 of which are non-strategic warheads, also known as tactical nuclear weapons. But what is a tactical nuclear weapon and how does it differ from a regular nuclear weapon? Here's what you need to know. Tactical warheads refer to ones designed for use in a limited battlefield, say to destroy a column of tanks or an aircraft carrier battle group if used at sea. These warheads, with explosive yields of 10 to 100 kilotons of dynamite, are also called low-yield. In contrast, Russia's most powerful strategic nuclear warheads have explosive yields of 500 to 800 kilotons and are designed to destroy entire cities, and then some. The reference to low yield for tactical weapons is somewhat misleading as explosive yields of 10 to 100 kilotons of TNT are still enough to cause major destruction, as the world discovered in 1945 when the US dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. Those bombs were the equivalent about 15 and 21 kilotons of dynamite, respectively, within the ballpark of Russia's tactical nuclear weapons. According to US government records, the first bombs at Hiroshima and Nagasaki instantly killed around 70,000 and 35,000 people, respectively, and tens of thousands more later perished from the radiation produced. The actual distinction between nuclear weapons, according to Alex Wallerstein, Director of Science and Technology Studies at the Stevens Institute of Technology in New Jersey, is not so much in the amount of explosive they produce, but rather in the types of targets they are designed to hit. The atomic bombings in Japan had been strategic attacks aimed mainly at destroying morale and terrorizing the Japanese high command into surrender. What made 15 kilotons a strategic yield depended on where it was aimed, Wallerstein wrote on the Outrider Security blog earlier this year. Others, including former U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis, say there's no difference at all. What would happen if Russia deployed one? Russia, and before it, the Soviet Union, has built and maintained a large stockpile of tactical nuclear weapons. The initial thinking was that using a nuke on a battlefield gave leaders an option to make a decisive strike that could stave off defeat without resorting to the use of their biggest nuclear weapons, which after a counterattack would bring a civilization-ending nuclear exchange, according to the Union of Concerned Scientists. Tactical nuclear weapons introduce greater ambiguity, raising the possibility that a country might think it could get away with a limited attack, the organization said. A commentary published during the summer by Siddharth Kaushal and Sam Cranny-Evans at Britain's Royal United Services Institute, RUSI, says that the use of tactical nuclear weapons against command centers or air bases in Europe could limit civilian casualties in surrounding areas. For example, according to the RUSI analysis, the use of a tactical nuclear weapon in the Suwalki Gap, the land border between NATO members Poland and Lithuania that divides Kaliningrad, Russia, and its neighbor Belarus, might only result in hundreds of civilian casualties. The truth probably differs greatly from that. The Union of Concerned Scientists blog stated that U.S. war games forecast that a battle including the use of tactical nuclear weapons will swiftly spiral out of control. According to a Princeton University simulation of a U.S.-Russian battle that starts with the use of a tactical nuclear bomb, there would be a quick escalation and more than 90 million casualties. The International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons, ICAN, said in response to Putin's ultimatum last week that the emergency services would not be able to respond effectively and widespread panic would trigger mass movements of people